Today we're breaking down the next biggest shoe releases from each of the major brands in running. I'll walk you through what's new, highlight some of the key features, and touch on how they've improved on their previous model. So whether you're looking to pick out your next marathon shoe or you're simply looking for that next best max cushion shoe. Okay, so as a quick disclaimer, I've gathered this information from a combination of different websites as seen on the screen now. I've tried to keep this information as accurate as possible, but there may be a few changes come release day. Okay, so kicking off is everyone's favorite, Nike. So Nike are soon to be releasing the Vomero Premium, a new addition to the Vomero family. Now, if you're not aware already, Nike now release 3 variations of their road running lineup. These are the Icon, a Plus, and a Premium version. So my first pick is going to be the Nike Vomero Premium that's set to release on October the 28th and boasts some amazing 55mm of stack height. That puts it in front of the Prime X Strong from Adidas and the Hoka Skyward X. So this shoe contains a combination of their Zoom X foam, the stuff you find in their performance range, as well as some exposed air pods located both in the heel and in the forefront. Now, Nike say the shoe is built to simulate anti-gravity treadmills, which essentially mitigate that risk of injury during high mileage weeks. It's the tallest road running shoe to date with 55mm of stack in the heel and 45 in the forefront. It's clearly not built for speed, but being the first Nike shoe of its kind, my guess is that it's going to be priced north of £200 or $250 US. I think it's fair to say it's going to feel incredibly different to anything that Nike have ever produced before. Now, to be honest with you, I think Nike have overcomplicated their running shoe range a lot over the last 3 or 4 years. With some great daily trainers and race day shoes available to Nike customers, but in my opinion, there's not been enough shoes in between for those tempo sessions or those harder workouts. I often find using the Alphafly or the Vaporfly series is just a little bit of overkill. So the revolution of the Nike Zoomfly 6 recently has actually pushed Nike up in my estimation. And now with the simplicity of having an Icon, a Plus, and a Premium version for their daily trainers, I think Nike are finally getting back on track. What do you think? Okay, so let's move on to Asics. Now, Asics are soon to be adding to their Blast series with an all-new super shoe called the Asics Sonic Blast. Not to be confused with the Super Blast. The Sonic Blast boasts an impressive 46mm of stack height with the addition of a plate. The Sonic Blast is the first in the Blast series to have a plate, and this positions it just above the Super Blast in my opinion. It's branded as a high-speed interval shoe, so looking at the early release images, it would appear that the plate is positioned relatively low in the shoe, which hints towards a more stable setup. Both the Super and the Nova Blast are well renowned for their comfort. I love the Super Blast shoe and I think it is one of the most comfy shoes I've ever worn. The rocker, however, in the Sonic Blast is going to be more aggressive, promoting a quicker turnover, and at 46mm as well, the Sonic Blast wins the title of being Asics' tallest shoe to date. It also includes the FF Turbo and the FF Turbo Max foam, and these are also in the Super Blast as well. Now, I've not seen any official releases in terms of the pricing, but I'd hazard a guess it's going to be somewhere in the region of 225 British pounds, $275. It's rumored to release in September of 2025. And if it's anything to go by the Super Blast or the Nova Blast series, we are in for another Asics bestseller. Up next is New Balance. Following the success of the More Fresh Foam series, New Balance will soon to be releasing the More Fresh Foam version 6. The shoe is another max cushion shoe and used for both recovery and easy runs. And whilst the version 5 was a fan favorite, New Balance have quite cleverly taken on board a few of the snagging issues and implemented some quite steady upgrades into the version 6. They've changed the upper, more specifically the collar part of the shoe and the tongue issues that previous runners were reporting. As a result, the shoe does come in 6 grams lighter with the alterations made, which is a pretty good result considering you're going to get improved comfort in the collar and the heel, and you're getting 6 grams taken out of the weight of the shoe. Now, it is a shoe that offers a snug fit, but it does also maintain the comfort and there's going to be no pressure points now throughout, or so New Balance is saying. The shoe has updated the midsole with a slightly firmer forefoot and a small tweak to the rocker, but the shoe still boasts a soft but cushioned ride. It's the same foam that used in the previous model and also in their 1080 version 14, a shoe that I've used an awful lot, and it's a shoe that I absolutely love. That foam is so responsive but also so cushioned. Now the shoe doesn't have a carbon plate and it does weigh a relatively hefty 306 grams, but with the improvements to the ankle and to the collar, I think this is going to be a shoe that's going to be a big hit for those New Balance consumers. So watch out for this one, that's coming very soon. Now, over the past few years, On Running have seriously upped their game and have become a serious contender for their customers in the running world. Most recently, the lightweight and bouncy Cloud Boom Strike became On's standout performance race day shoe, and it's quite an impressive shoe, to be honest with you. But now they're tapping into a different market, and this is quite genius in my opinion. The On Cloud Boom Max is a race day shoe targeted at those runners who are completing the marathon in a 4 or 5 hour time. Unlike the Boom Strike, the Cloud Boom Max prioritizes comfort by way of a speedboard style of plate instead of that traditional carbon plate. Now the benefit of this speedboard is it's going to be less stiffer and it's going to have a more cushioned feel underfoot, which provides a balanced ride to those mid-pack runners. Essentially, the speedboard aims to avoid that plantar strain that you may get sometimes with those aggressive carbon plates. So with a 40 millimeters of stack in the heel, On really want to provide both speed and comfort to their customers. So it's scheduled to release in August this year, and at $230, it's priced lower than many performance shoes. So it's providing a certain part of the market with a specific shoe at a cheaper price than, let's say, something like an Alphafly or an Adidas Adios Pro 4. So if you're after a shoe that combines racer-like responsiveness with cushioned comfort for longer runs, the Cloud Boom Max might be that sweet spot. All right, let's move on to Hoka. So the Hoka Mach X is a series that offers a very versatile plated daily trainer that can handle tempo runs, longer runs, various different workouts, and even probably on that big race day if push comes to shove. And it's got that versatility because there's no stiffness of the carbon plated like it has in their race shoe. It aims to bridge the gap between daily training shoes and carbon plated shoes by way of using a less aggressive plate, and this is the P-backed plate, I think that's how you pronounce it. So in autumn this year, Hoka is set to release their latest iteration in the series, and it's going to be the Mach X3. So Hoka have said that they improved the heel lock issues, which were quite widely reported in the X2 model. They've adjusted the collar to allow for this whilst making no compromise in relation to the ride. Now the Mach X3 retains the same dual foam midsole with the P-backs, I think that's how you pronounce it, plate that's quite lively, but it provides that tempered propulsion. Now the Mach X is shaping up to be a conservative but meaning update, all the ride you love with a much improved upper. If the Mach X2's heel fit does bother you, maybe waiting for the X3 is worth it, and it's a fantastic shoe if you're looking to step up from a daily trainer, but you're just not wanting the aggression of a Vaporfly or a Hoka Rocket X2. The full release, including colorways, exact weight, and price, should arrive probably in a month or two's time, but early indications do suggest the release price will be around $180-ish, which is fairly competitive in today's running market. Moving into Brooks then. So for every Brooks Max shoe, Brooks produce a non-Max version. Now the issue that I have with this is it's not crystal clear what the identity of the Max series is. Nonetheless, the Ghost Max 3 in isolation to its series isn't meant to be a flashy race day rocket, but it's there as a comfortable, steady daily companion. So it brings back some of the original model's smooth softness whilst cleaning up the bouncy but clunky traits of the second generation. I'd say it's between a max cushion shoe and a daily trainer. In terms of upgrades, they've made the toe box roomier, and there's a new double jacketed mesh which is softer and more breathable. Now with 39mm of stack, the Ghost Max 3 uses that DNA loft foam again and retains its wide base, which makes it ideal for heavier runners or runners with potentially orthopedic needs. So if you're looking for a plush all-day trainer with rock solid stability and generous durability, and you're okay if it's not the zippiest ride, then this could be quite a strong contender. Now my only reservation is at $215. This would appear to be on the slightly expensive side of daily trainers that are available to you. Now this shoe does come in at 306 grams, again, which is moderately heavier, but with the puffy internal structure and the added outsole rubber, it's understandable why it's relatively heavy. The shoe will be coming to stores on the 1st of August and promises to be an exciting upgrade to the Ghost Max series. Now I can honestly say that I've only ever owned one pair of Mizuno running shoes. A shoe I'm genuinely considering buying is the upcoming Mizuno Wave Sky 9, which is set to release in September this year. Now the Wave Sky 9 is expected to retail at $185, and the Wave Sky 9 is Mizuno's most cushioned, comfortable daily trainer ever. It's combining a plush energy return foam with stable weight plate technology and thoughtfully sustainable construction. It's built for those who want a soft, stable, eco-friendly shoe for high mileage and daily comfort, or so Mizuno say. Comparing it to the Skywave 8, the Skywave 9 introduces softer, more responsive NZ NXT midsole layer and improved sustainability, whatever that means. It's ideal for neutral runners and heel strikers who are craving maximum cushioning, and for one looking for an eco-friendly trainer, this would be the one, with 50% recycled materials in the upper, and the shoe officially classifying as a vegan-friendly shoe. And at 302 grams, again, is moderately heavy, but not clunky. So the bottom line here is that Mizuno Wave Sky 9 is a premium max cushion daily trainer built for runners who want a soft, stable, and protective ride without sacrificing structure. So if you're after all of those, then maybe this is the shoe for you. Now, at the time of this video's release, it's probable that the Adidas Prime X3 may have been released already. But here's a very quick overview of this monster running shoe, and I mean monster because it's ridiculous. So the Adidas Prime X Strung 3 is purpose built for those big marathon, half marathon sessions with two carbon plates in each shoe and their latest Light Strike Pro foam. There's a whopping 50mm of foam sitting beneath the new upgraded upper, which addresses those hideous heel locking issues from the version 2. I had so many issues with that shoe. Now, whilst being exciting, that version 2 gave me so many issues. The lockdown specifically was dreadful, and I often had to retie the laces with constant ankle slippage. Thankfully, Adidas say they have addressed these issues and they've reworked both areas and improved the lockdown, and they've made an alteration to the lacing system, which is very much welcome. A small part of one of the carbon plates now protrudes out of the back of the shoes, quite reminiscent to what Puma have done in their Fast R Nitro 3 recently. They've combined a new and old Light Strike Pro, which I think is quite a good idea. The older being that more durable, that's going to be situated lower down, and the newer Light Strike Pro foam is going to be situated towards the upper end of that monster 50mm of stack. So in terms of the appearance, the three stripes now run across the tongue, the upper, and the foam, as they do in the other Adi Zero range. Whilst it doesn't remain unapproved by World Athletics, it's actually going to be a really good shoe for many elite runners in terms of those big volumes. Now, my experience with the Prime X2 version is predominantly positive. I've done some big 4x5 kilometer workouts in this shoe with no issue at all. It is definitely a sluggish shoe over those faster sort of 3K, 5K paces, but over those longer workouts, genuinely, I found nothing that comes anywhere close to it whatsoever. It's a shoe I'll definitely be looking to purchase, and thank God they've addressed some of those issues as I've mentioned. Now, the issue they've got is it's going to be coming in at arguably a ridiculous price of $340, and you need to be prepared to make a serious commitment to this shoe, but if you do go with it, I think you'll be heavily impressed with what it can offer. So back in February last year, Saucony delivered their best race day shoe in the shape of the Endorphin Pro 4. And now they are back with further upgrades with their latest race day shoe, the Endorphin Pro 5. In terms of upgrades, the Pro 5 upgrades that Power Run PB foam for even more energy return and durability. Everyone says more energy return and durability, but that's what they're saying. The carbon fiber plate is slightly refined for smoother toe off and better stability. Now, the upper includes softer overlays for a more enhanced fit, while the outsole pattern has been tweaked a little to improve grip on wetter surfaces, something that was reported by users of the 4 model. Now, there is minimal information actually out there on this shoe, but from what I've seen on Reddit, I'd suggest its release will probably be somewhere in late summer of this year, and that fits in quite typically with Saucony's yearly update cycle. So the Pro 5 is expected to maintain or slightly reduce weight while preserving or adjusting that drop to suit elite marathoners or sub-elite marathoners. The subtle updates in this edition make the ride even smoother, according to Saucony, without sacrificing the aggressive feel that Saucony fans love. If you want a shoe that feels like it's pushing you forward with every step, then maybe the Pro 5 is going to be quite hard for you to beat. Now, Puma have 2 main racing shoe lines, the Fast R and the DV8 Nitro Elite. It's no secret that Puma have nailed it with their latest release, their latest super shoe, which was the Fast R Nitro Elite 3. Puma themselves claim that the Fast R Nitro Elite 3 provides an improvement of over 3.5% against its Nike competitor, the Vaporfly. True or not, it certainly caught the eye of the consumer. This one certainly has done that, with most places selling out in almost all sizes. It's honestly a featherweight marathon, half marathon shoe that's put Puma well and truly in the category of a serious race day option. In terms of new shoe releases then from Puma, according to Sole Trader, Puma are set to release a new version of their DV8 Nitro Elite in February. There's been little reported in terms of specs, but apparently there's going to be a new upper and a sole. The DV8 Nitro 3 was a popular lightweight racer, and at $260 is on the lower end of a race day shoe. That still sounds so stupid that I'm saying that. But next up for Puma is the release of the Puma Velocity Nitro 4 in August of this year. There's going to be updates to the upper, but again, there's very limited information out there. And that wraps up my look at the up and coming running shoe releases from the biggest brands in the game. Hopefully that you found something that fits your needs. And if you've got a shoe that's coming up that you know that is better than everything I've said in this video, let me know down in the comments below. That's all from me today, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.